Come and join Phuket's finest health club. Meet with like-minded individuals who want to improve their health, happiness, strength and self-esteem. Club members also enjoy social club parties, the world's best fitness equipment and internationally qualified staff. RPM Health Club, where you belong.
Welcome to Phuket News TV. Well, today we've got an interesting tale. It's a business story. Imagine three friends from the UK that have known each other since they were young, have the idea of going to a beautiful tropical island somewhere in Southeast Asia and starting a business. Well, they arrive here with no idea what they're going to do. And we're going to investigate this tale and how they roped in a Canadian who was already on the island and find out exactly what they did. So there are some lessons to be learnt from this, and it's all coming up next on Phuket News TV.
An international baccalaureate world school underpinned with a social, emotional, learning, and mindfulness approach. Help your child reach their full potential. Visit our website today.
Welcome back to Phuket News TV. Well, here is the gang, this mad crew that have travelled halfway around the world to start a business in Phuket. And I'll start with Michael, because Michael's, I think, the initiator of the backstory. What on earth were you thinking?
You know, sometimes I ask myself that, but it's quite interesting. I wanted to change. That was predominantly the reason why I wanted to change. I wanted to go and start a business with two of my best friends, and we did like Phuket. Phuket was an awesome place, and we thought if we could do it anywhere in the world, why not try here?
But why Phuket? Why Thailand?
You know, it was predominantly, you know, Thailand was cheap in comparison to, you know, London, so that was a big plus. Setting up a business will cost a third of the price, we thought. Obviously didn't quite work out that way. Also, you know, London, the weather's miserable. Thailand, you know, represented what we thought was, you know, beautiful weather all year round. We didn't realise the rainy season was so rainy at that point, but it was a mixture of the weather, to be in Asia, the Asian culture, you know, the hustle and bustle of, you know, and the differences it has with London, and also, you know, the price and the people. You know, this was kind of a mixture of what kind of drove us to Thailand.
Alon, how did you get dragged into this?
Mike was very persistent. I probably got about 5 phone calls a day asking me to come out and do this business with him, and there was a lot of back and forth. And at one point, I remember calling up Mike saying, "I'm not coming," and he said, "Well, I think you're an idiot. I think we're going to do something really great out there, and you're going to regret this for the rest of your life." And after he said that to me, there was no way I couldn't come. So that's pretty much how I got into it.
So Paul, at this stage, there wasn't really any idea of what you were actually going to do when you got here.
But we saw Asia as being a footstep, or Thailand and Singapore to being a footstep to the whole of Asia. So we thought it would be a great opportunity to come here and start something on the Asian doorstep, basically. And Phuket has got the international airport coming here, so we thought we'd be very easy to travel in and out to different locations and build a scalable business.
So what did you think Phuket was at that time? I mean, you're halfway around the rest of the world. How did you see Phuket in your mind?
I'd already been to Thailand, but never been to Phuket before. I just thought it was beautiful beaches, nice hotels and good places to have a drink, and that was about it. Now I've seen a very different side to it, starting a business.
Well, now the blow in here is Brennan, who's from Canada. How did you get involved with this motley crew?
Well, these guys, they approached me. I was working at one of the bigger agencies on the island. I saw that they had potential, but also saw that they needed some help as well. So they pitched me, I came back, pitched them, and it's a good opportunity and a good match.
When did you hatch this original idea?
It was probably just towards the end of 2013. We came up with the concept. You know, I think we bought the domain name Live Phuket, and we thought that was it. You know, but obviously we didn't really realise much about business and what was involved. So it was probably the end of last year, but we didn't really actually get round to actually producing something. Probably till May 2014, which was this year. So we're still a young company.
How long have you been going there?
Probably operating around 6 months. So yeah, so we were still very new, but we've actually grown very quickly. So which has been quite exciting. So.
Now tell me about the business just very briefly. What do you do, or how did you get at this particular business?
Well, We started off with a sales platform, but then we quickly realized that there was a lot of opportunity with the rentals market as well. So we also do vacation rentals, and we've now newly introduced long-term rentals as well. So we're really the only platform at the moment in Phuket that does vacation rentals, long-term rentals and sales all on one platform.
But getting to this particular business, it wasn't your first choice, or how did you arrive at real estate?
We landed on the island. We actually went to Bangkok and realised there was no company there doing it properly. We came to Phuket and we went online. We couldn't find any good platforms to use or any good people to use, but we basically just found the hole there and a market that we could potentially tap into and take over. And that's what we've done basically.
So, Brennan, why did these guys excite you with their ideas? Was it their enthusiasm or their talent, or the fact that they were just brave enough to come out here and embark on this?
Yeah, a combination of all that, I think. You could tell that they, being relatively new to a market, that they had a good idea of what was involved and what it would take to be successful, and just their passion for it as well. So new to the industry, but they were going in the right direction as well. So it was a good opportunity.
Well, right after this, we're going to come back. We're going to have a talk about some of the mistakes you can make starting off your own business here in Phuket, and also get their perspective on how they see the real estate market here in Phuket. You're watching Phuket News TV.
Learning a foreign language isn't easy. Getting the right help will make it a lot easier. VL Language School will put you on track to learning a new language in Phuket. Go to schoolphuket.com.
Welcome back to Phuket News TV, and we've got Brennan, we've got Paul, Michael and Alon, and they had this dream of coming to Phuket from different parts of the world and starting a business. And there are so many pitfalls and so many things that you could do wrong. Alon, if I could start with you, the real estate industry, you're not the only real estate people here on the island. Now, obviously you're doing things differently, but how do you get ahead of that sort of white noise in the background of all the other internet sites?
Well, we have to really take into account what they're doing first before we try and trump them, to be honest with you. So we spent a lot of time doing a lot of research on what these companies are actually doing, and then spent a lot of time thinking how we could actually be different. We spend a lot of time listening to customers who actually come out to Phuket. We develop forms which really get down to what they actually want from their property, investment property. So really just taking the time to understand what the customer wants instead of just trying to put them on property just for the sake of selling.
Yeah. Michael, real estate is a difficult business here on the island. What do you see as the big challenges for people trying to get into the real estate market, either buying or renting?
So the main challenges that we find is that there is no transparency in the market. Any Western kind of set market which has kind of market data out there where you can see prices and what's going on, past sales prices, and all averages and market data, it doesn't exist in Phuket. So from a buyer's perspective, a renter's perspective, you're in the hands of the agent. So you're relying on kind of human trust element more than any real stats or any real pure evidence. So we find that that's the main difficulty in this market. There is no transparency. It's a very, very closed market, and that's what Live Phuket is actually trying to come here to try and change, to really open up the market, make it more transparent for buyers and renters.
Paul, obviously when you arrived here you had your own interface with the current real estate industry. Did you learn something from those early mistakes?
For sure. I basically went around and met as many agents as I could and pretended to be a buyer and pretended to, well, we were actually renting at the time. And I just saw the lack of care. There's lots of people who are coming here just obviously as a lifestyle business or set it up just to live in a beautiful island. I just thought if they took it a bit more seriously like we are, they would do a lot better. So yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of real estate companies that sort of come and go. What do you sort of see as the secret to good sales here in Phuket?
It's a combination of things. I don't think you can answer that with one specific thing, but our platform, our website, I think really draws people in. It's very user-friendly, and you're able to find exactly what you're looking for with a team that can help back it up as well. So any question, location, price, we've got a platform, we've got properties that can really cater to everybody.
All right, moving away from real estate, just to the business side of it, if I could ask you all, if there was one thing that you've really learned from this whole process coming to an island on the other side of the world, a beautiful tropical island sometimes, and starting a business. What are the lessons that you've learned? If you haven't got one, maybe two brief ones. I'll start with you, Alon. What's your thought?
The thing that I learned the most from this whole thing so far is just the importance of just being very process orientated, just making sure that everything is backed up with processes and like working in a very efficient way. Yeah.
And why is that?
Because things can get really out of hand very quickly. You know, we've been through it, we've made the mistakes already, but now we're in a better situation, working in a really process-orientated way. So.
Well, Michael, you're the instigator of all this. What are the lessons that you've learned from this whole process?
I would say my two big lessons are, the first one, when we go into business with friends, it's very difficult. And you have to really put your friendship aside and say this is business, and have clear separation between what is business and what is friendship. And we cannot do that for a long time. So we actually really took a long time to get to work together. That was the first thing. The second thing is coming out here, you know, with all the backgrounds we had, I was in investment banking and everyone had their own different divisions, we all had egos behind us. And when you're starting a business in Phuket, you really have to put aside, I actually don't know and I want to learn. You have to put your ego aside and start from the beginning, be willing to learn, accept that you don't know. By having that full sense of, you know, well, this is how things work, it will lead us into problems. So really it's let go of what we've done in the past and really start to learn and be humble about kind of where we are now. So
you're still all talking together though, I mean.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah. What are the lessons you've learned, Paul?
I'd say that finding the right team, the right partnerships, has been the way we've kind of excelled a little bit. We found it very hard to find talent here, being a small island, attract people. People aren't coming from Bangkok to have work at a real estate company with a technology background. It's just difficult to find. So I think find the right team, technology partners, and anyone else who can actually help and has understanding of the business was critical.
Okay, Brennan from Canada.
I guess patience all across the board. It is an island, so people are working at a different speed. Within the office as well, outside of the office with everybody really. People are operating at more of a laid-back mentality here. And having been here for 5 years, it takes some time to adjust to the Western work ethic down to, you know, a more laid-back island mentality.
If I could just also move into the area of marketing, because marketing is changing so quickly everywhere in the world. And here in Phuket, it's got its own sort of dynamics where things like Twitter aren't very big, but Facebook is very big. Can I ask you sort of how you use the social media?
Yeah, so we actually have a social media manager that we use to kind of plug Facebook and Twitter and Google+, and there's so many mediums actually of social media these days, it's difficult to find which ones are effective. But we do try and engage on all different platforms. We're trying to work at, actually, you know, Facebook is obviously a powerful tool, especially here in Thailand, so we're actually looking at how we can engage more. A lot of the process waiting until the platform was built to a very good level, so about now is when we're going to start really plugging the social media to drive traffic.
It's not just the four of you, you've got quite a big team behind you.
Yeah, there's about 5 more people downstairs. We have about 14 in India and 1 in the Philippines.
So you've outsourced some of the office work?
Yeah, particularly more the technology, because we couldn't find technology help here, and also some of the more basic administration work that, again, we just couldn't find people to do here, or the people didn't want to do it here.
Well, congratulations for being brave enough to come out here and work together and really just come out, I suppose, with ideas and enthusiasm. There's a lot to be learnt from what you've done, and best of luck with your endeavours with Live Phuket in the future.
Thanks very much.
So there we are. That's how you start a business from absolutely nothing, just with an idea and some great enthusiasm. Thanks for watching us here on Phuket News TV. We'll see you next time.
An International Baccalaureate World School underpinned with a social, emotional, learning, and mindfulness approach. Help your child reach their full potential. Visit our website today.